So, you have learned Zan's Diamond, and now you want to figure out how to move with it. Well, I've got you covered, friends. I have 3 different options for what you can do to really style out Zan's Diamond and make it appealing in a dance kind of fashion. So let's dive in. Drex here from DrexFactor Poi, sharing with you the love of poi spinning and flow arts to benefit your body and brain. And in this video, I'm drilling down 3 movement options for how you can flow with Zan's Diamond. But before we dive in, I just want to give a quick shout out to the friends of the channel. Big thanks go to Dark Monk, Fire Mecca, Flow Fests, Flow Toys, Pyroterra Light Toys, and Ultra Poi for helping to make the videos on this channel possible. You can learn more about all these amazing companies and the work that they're doing to support flow artists like yourself by checking out the links down in the description of this video. And just to put a massive thank you out there to Pekha Pekkonen for having supported this channel for so very long. I appreciate you and everything that you've done these past few years. Zan's Diamond. It's an elliptical cap. It's a third order motion. It fits into a lot of different frameworks for Tech Poi. And if you're like me, then when you first learned it, you thought, okay, this is a thing that I couldn't possibly move with. And you know what? You and I were wrong. There's a lot of different options to move with Zan's Diamond, as there are with many Tech Poi tricks. So I'm going to start off a little series here talking about how you can move with different forms of Poi tech and make them flow. We're going to start with 3 different options that are all different types of jazz dance moves that we can put together with Zan's Diamond and maybe get your tech moving a little bit. And if you need the inside scoop on how to do Zan's Diamond, I'm going to include a link to a tutorial on that down in the description as well as up in the cards. All right, so we're going to start things off with just a simple step touch. So a step touch, for those of you who don't know, is just a basic jazz move where you step a foot, you touch, you step a foot, you touch. Works like this. There's a lot of different variations on it. You can touch behind, you can touch in front. You don't even have to cross your legs for it. Sometimes you can step, touch, step, touch. It's just a very, very basic way of getting around. You can think of this as being that you're just going to tap one foot as you step with the other. You don't commit your entire weight to the foot that is doing the tapping, any which way you look at it. You can just drill, I'm going to step, touch, step, touch, step, touch. On the inside, boom, on the inside, boom, on the outside, boom, on the outside, boom, or behind, or in front, like so. And the great thing about Zan's Diamond is that since it contains movements where you're taking it back and forth like so, it's a perfect fit for doing a step touch. Again, you can take it back, you can take it across, you can take it forward, and you can even do the step touch on the inside, like so. Basically what you're looking to do is every time you do that middle part of Zan's Diamond where you're taking it across, that is your opportunity to do the step, and when you open up, that's your opportunity to do the touch. So think step, touch, step, touch, step, touch, step, touch, like so. All right, so our next option is something called a jazz slide. The footwork for this is not so terribly different from the step touch, except that instead of stepping and touching, you instead take a big step and then slide your foot behind you. You want to take an extra big step, almost like you're taking a jump, and you're going to let the other foot drag behind you to the side here. You see people doing really elaborate gestures with this when they do it on stage, especially in like Broadway choreography. Here's how you make it work with Zan's Diamond though. Me personally, I think that this works best when you're coming from a given side. So we have the bit in the center where we have the poi going back and forth like this. And when we reach a given side, we expand out, right? I think that's the perfect place to do a jazz slide off to the direction that the poi are going to go. This gets a little tricky then because it means you basically have to do a Zan's Diamond on each side of the jazz slide, like so. If I go ahead and start by opening up, I then have to bring my poi up and down, then back to the side I just came from, over here, up, down, back across, and then when they come here, that's the time for the next jazz slide. So I have to do a full repetition of Zan's Diamond every time I do one of these jazz slides here, like so. I don't think that's the end of the world, but I do think it looks pretty darn cool. Don't you? All right, and option number 3, it is that most famous of all dance moves. Namely, we are going to play around with pirouettes. Where do you do a pirouette in Zan's Diamond? I'm so glad you asked. You see that horizontal part where we're going from side to side? That was so important when we did our step touches. Well, that's the place where we're going to insert one of these pirouettes. And in fact, you can really just think of it as being a pirouette that you're doing with the poi and split time opposites, like so. You can do the pirouette either in the direction of the leg you're going up on, or you can do it as a jazz pirouette where you are going against the direction of the foot that you're standing on. If you don't know the difference between these, I did a video on pirouettes that I'll go ahead and link to down in the description as well as up in the cards. But suffice it to say, this is a choose your own adventure with which of the pirouettes you want to do. But basically, you're looking for those spots where you're going around to the side and you want to go with the direction of the poi as you go around. So if I'm carrying the poi from my left to my right, I'm going to do a full turn around to the right and then come back out. Same thing when I'm going back to the left. Now, what you can do here is you can just hang out and do as many reps of Zan's Diamond as you like, but when you decide to make your turn, you're imagining that you've just gone all the way back around and then coming back out at the point that you would have arrived at originally. So if I'm coming from the right, and I do that pirouette, I come to the left and open up like so. Same thing when I'm going over to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left. Ta-da! So those are 3 different options for how you can flow with Zan's Diamond, how you can dance with it and take what should be a tech trick and make it just a little bit prettier. Were there other options for dancing with Zan's Diamond that I didn't include in this video? Please leave me a comment and let me know what your favorites might have been. Also be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to make sure that other people can find this video and to help my channel grow. Hey friends, so I just wanted to put out a huge thank you to the lovely and talented Jennifer Ever Swanson for running the camera for this video. Thank you so much. The camera work was beautiful and I cannot wait to do this again with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
This video and all the videos on this channel would not be possible without my amazing supporters on Patreon. In particular, I'd love to give a shout out to my Flow patrons who are listed on screen right now. Thank you all so much for your very generous support. And if you out there watching would like to get your name in the credits or access to a host of other awesome rewards, pretty please go and check out my Patreon over at patreon.com/DrexFactor Poi and sign up. I will include a link down in the description as well as up in the cards, so please go check that out and help me out in my mission to bring poi spinning and flow arts to the whole wide world. Thank you in advance. And if all these dance terms sound like Greek to you, I have good news. I did a short series of videos last year on different basic dance moves and how they can interact with poi. I'll go ahead and include a link to that playlist up here on screen as well as down in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to get out and flow yourselves today, and I'll see you with a new video real soon. Take care. Peace.